Yo, what is going on, guys? Hope everyone's having a fantastic day today. Um, yeah, there's been some troubling news. Now, what we've been hearing has been almost, I think a week ago, it was like a very light rumor that was kind of going around, like a very, very light rumor. And then it was starting to catch a little traction. And then we started getting news that Fangio wanted to retire after Super Bowl 59, that he was contemplating on retirement. Even the Kobe Dean said some things on locker cleanout day that he had no idea either. Um, Now, there's been reports that have been like, there's been some good reports out today. There's nothing really fake about any of the reports. Fangio says, or I don't know if Fangio said it, but the rumors are clear that maybe he's staying, but he's still not, it's still up in the air right now, which is not really that good because if Fangio was going to retire, he should have fucking retired like weeks ago. You know, to wait this long, so late in the process, there's no coaches available. Okay. Jim Schwartz is out there. McDermott is still out there, whether he wants to, he's more likely going to come back as a head coach somewhere else, but I don't know if he would even come here. You know what I mean? So now, even if Fangio is back, now we got to worry about him leaving after this year. So we're back to square one now at fucking defensive coordinator after one more fucking year, which really sucks. You have a DC right now that's building this defense year by year, knowing every player's strength and weaknesses, has control of the draft and free agency and who he has, and he just knows every player. He doesn't set up any players to fail. Like, to have a DC that's been in charge of all of that and just what he is not setting these players up to fail, and he's done such a great job. And then you have to switch him out with somebody else that might come in, might not like the scheme, might completely change the whole scheme, might not like specific players in the room, and might not use specific players for certain reasons. It's a never ending fucking thing, man. It's never ending with this team. You know what I mean? Even if he's coming back, like it's not even promised that he's coming back for one more fucking year. It's not even promised. Okay, so this is 5 hours ago. It said Eagles consider Jim Schwartz and Jonathan Gann for defensive coordinator job after Vic Fangio retirement scare. Yeah, sure. Bring in fucking Jonathan. Let me tell you something. If this is fucking true from Jimmy Kempski, and Jim Schwartz, I don't know how good he's done with the Browns as the DC the last few years. Jonathan Gannon, yeah, sure. Let's drop our edge rushers into coverage 25% of the fucking time. Get beat on fucking motion on the same play every fucking time. No, I have no fucking interest. So I don't know where this is all coming from. So it says, according to multiple sources, the Eagles got a big scare recently when legendary defensive coordinator Vic Fangio informed the team that he was retiring from coaching in the NFL. However, sources said that Fangio was convinced by the team's brass to stay for at least one more season in 2026. For now, Fangio is back, though it should be noted that Philly Voice reached out to the Eagles spokesperson to confirm that Fangio is still the team's defensive coordinator, and they declined to answer until further notice. As such, wiggle room exists for Fangio to change his mind again. There was this little rumor coming out a few weeks ago. There was a little rumor coming out a week or two ago that there was like some, and it wasn't gaining a lot of traction, that Fangio could retire. So then Mike Garofalo tweeted out, says, as Jimmy Kempski reports here, Vic Fangio's return has been uncertain and sort of still is. It's been leaning to the positive recently, but could change again. The Eagles haven't confirmed or denied anything to this point. Damn. That really sucks. Now we're going to be sitting here not knowing if Fangio's going to be our DC. It sucks that we don't know if he's going to be our DC, but it ultimately sucks that he's ultimately going to be here for like one more fucking year and that's it. Damn. I would have thought he would have been here at least another 2-3 years, at least. You know, like he's an old coach. Like I get it. You know, I wish we had this guy like fucking 7-8 years ago. You know what I mean? It just sucks now. Now we have to worry about this as much as we have all these offensive fucking changes. Now we got to worry about Fangio fucking leaving, and then God knows, like I don't even know what other coach can really do anything with the roster that we have here. Who I really trust with this roster as of right now. I really don't even fucking know. Honestly, I really don't. But let me say hi to everything in the chat. I kind of just wanted to get everything out there. Hope everyone's having a fantastic day, by the way. Shout out to Mike Cates, Chris Scott. What's going on, buddy? Philly Magic, Mike Cates. We have Jaden Chris. What's going on, buddy? CJ8942. Showing off. What's going on, buddy? He says, if Vic is done, go get Schwartz ASAP. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, at this point, it's like, why go through a draft? Like, why even have him back if he's going to be here one more fucking year? Like, I know people are going to say, oh, well, he's here one more year. Who cares? It's like, no, it's not that who cares. It's that now you have to worry. Now, this is a problem you're going to have to worry about after this year. So, you know what I mean? It's just going to be a waste of it's going to be a waste of time. Like him being here this year for one more year is going to be a waste of time. It is what it is. If he's here, great. I'm happy about it, but it's going to be a lingering factor now that we have to, you know. But we'll see. Alfredo says, with Fangio retiring this year or next, and with the offense, we are definitely not going back for another Super Bowl for another 8 years. I don't know. It really depends how this offense is going to be. You know, a lot of Eagle fans are contemplating on things. I feel pretty good about it. I feel pretty excited about it because literally the Eagles have brought in 2 offensive coordinators. They brought in a passing game coordinator that has a lot of experience, that has called plays, and has been a passing game coordinator in 24 for Tampa Bay as well. You know, and actually did pretty well there and did pretty well. Vic confirmed. It's not entirely confirmed yet. It's not entirely confirmed at all. It's still up in the air. It's still up in the air. It's not entirely confirmed. Mike Garofalo just tweeted this out on Jimmy Kemsky's tweet saying that Vic Fangio's return has been uncertain and sort of still is. It's been leaning on a positive recently, but could change again. The Eagles haven't confirmed or denied anything to this point. They haven't confirmed that Fangio's the DC. It's leaning towards a positive factor, but there still isn't a final answer from the Eagles on what's going on with Vic Fangio. So nothing is set in stone right now. Nothing is. Which really fucking sucks. Yeah, I don't know if I honestly, Rome's, I don't know. He's probably going to promote Hunt next year. I don't know. You mean Clint Hurt? The defensive line coach? I don't even know if they even want him as DC. You know what I mean? Sirianni was along for the ride for the Super Bowl. He's trash coach. Can't wait till he's gone. Yeah. Huh. Yeah, riding the coattails of this team's talent and good coaches that we hire when they are around. Mike said Vic just wants to retire and watch his Phillies. This is his last year of his contract. I thought he came out and said he'd be here through 26. From what I'm reading the last 5 hours of today, that it's still contemplating, that there's no official word that he's coming back. So even if he's coming back, you still have a fucking problem after this year. Now you're gonna have to look for now you know you're gonna have to look for a DC after this year. You know what I mean? Tony said, Joe, we run a 3-4. Gan likes a 4-3 tack D. We run zone with a bunch of athletes. We need to start looking for crap down linemen and our guys we have now gone if Gannon returns. That's what I'm saying, too. And if the whole scheme changes, there's going to be another DC that comes in and probably doesn't like specific players that are playing well for us, whether it's depth or something like that. That's the problem when you don't have a DC. You know what I mean? That's the problem when you don't have a DC that's consistently in the building every single year. You see what it looks like when you have a consistent DC in the building every single year. Knowing this roster from top to bottom and not making huge mistakes on releasing specific players that play well somewhere else, like that does a really good job. And that's what you don't want somebody. We were worried when Fangio got in the building, we were worried about the same thing. We were worried about the same exact thing. It actually turned out for the fucking better. It sucks, but if we can't get one more Super Bowl with Vic, it's fine. I'm fine with it. Yeah, it is what it is. Philly said, I can't stand Sirianni. Couldn't fix the D in 23. An offensive mind that couldn't fix the offense in 25. Other than childish rants, what can he do? Not much. Not much, because when he gets involved too much, I mean, realistically, he can't take control of the playbook anymore. Like, he's got to let Josh Grizzard and he has to let Mannion kind of do their thing. He's going to have to. I mean, there's a bigger support system now. Now there's more of a shoulder to lean on since Grizzard is in the building. God forbid if Mannion is like failing at his job, they could lean on somebody else so Nick doesn't have to be the fucking the one way out for play calling and getting this shit fixed. You know? Morris, I think Vic was going to leave depending on who we get for OC. He didn't want another Nick offensive coordinator, and I don't think that's the truth at all. KG says, I just hope he's healthy and is nothing about health. Oh, for Fangio? I hope not. I don't think that's the case. I think maybe that would have been reported. Maybe, I don't know. Jay says the Eagles front office had no power to keep Parker because he got promoted. Eagles, any other NFL team, are not allowed to block a promotion. Yeah, I mean that's yeah. Well, I mean it was weird when the reports first came out about Christian Parker. It said, "Oh, the Cowboys are asking permission to interview Christian Parker," and I was kind of confused. Like, why are they asking permission? It's a promotion. Those were the first reports that came out from Jordan Schultz on Christian Parker getting the interview with the Cowboys. So. But it looks like Joe Casper is going in as the DB coach now. So it looks like they're trying to look for. It sounds like they're trying to look for a safeties coach right now, as of right now. Offensively, there's already been rumors that Sean Mannion is going to be filling out his staff. So I guess Sean Mannion has all the. It looks like Sean Mannion is going to have all the power to fill out his offensive staff, not Nick. I think bringing Grizzard in. I think that was part of Jeffrey Lurie and Nick, but you know, between Grizzard and Mannion, they're both Shanahan guys, which is good. Jeremy said they could have paid Parker more to keep him here, but it wasn't about blocking the interview. Yeah, I mean, to keep him here just because of more money, I don't know. I mean, I think these guys just want to get bigger promotions, and that's just what it is. You can't just pay everybody off. It just doesn't work that way sometimes. You know what I mean? It just doesn't work like that. Philly says, is it Sean Mannion or Nick's minion? I hope this OC doesn't have this clown in his ear. That's what I'm hoping too. I think in the beginning, Nick will be kind of involved with things, but I think as time goes by in the offseason program, whether it's like OTAs to training camp, I think that Mannion is going to have full control at some point. So there's a difference when Mannion reportedly is going to be calling plays, but then the other reports are saying, well, calling plays are different than designing plays. Is he just calling the plays for Nick, or is he actually designing the plays and calling the plays that he designed? It's two different fucking things, you know? Yo, what's going on, buddy? What's going on, Lindy? Says, hey, brother, personally, I'm not worried about the Fangio situation yet. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm kind of going through some of the news here. Let's see. McMullen here. See, according to Jimmy Kempski, the game's top defensive mind did inform the team that he was retiring from coaching before being successfully lobbied to return for the 26 campaign. There's been no confirmation of Fangio's intent to return yet, so there remains the possibility of a 180 and that of a 180, and that the 40-year veteran coach could change his mind. However, the idea from the Eagles side is to do everything it can do to convince Fangio to stay for at least one more season. Fangio will turn 68 in training camp this August, and if he does return, when Fangio arrives for the 24 season, Philadelphia brass understood that the shelf life of his tenure was always going to be somewhat limited. Yes, because of his age, I get it. Meanwhile, Fangio had already contemplated walking away on top of after Super Bowl 59, starting at the team's victory party after the blowout win over Kansas City, when he intimated to several coaches he was at least leaning towards walking away, which he didn't, obviously. So it hasn't been official yet on what's going on. So nothing is official right now. Hold on. Why is this frozen? Okay. Let's see. Kyle says, Joey, this is just if the Eagles' offense craps the bed this year. I think Grizzard is the Eagles' next head coach. I don't know. I think particularly if the offense does crap the bed during the season, I feel like Grizzard could take over as the OC. As much as I didn't really like what happened with Tampa Bay last year, from a 6-2 start to an 8-9 record, which was a complete collapse. I understand there was injuries with Tampa Bay. There was injuries with Tampa Bay last year as well. Even Baker Mayfield was dealing with some injuries, but he gets the best out of his quarterbacks as well. I thought Baker Mayfield had was having a pretty good start of the year until things started kind of falling apart a little bit by the end, but. We got Jair Medgi. What's going on, buddy? Appreciate the super chat. Says this is what Schefter meant about more than the OC. Yeah, so totally forgot about that. So Schefter said last week that there was something more going on with the Eagles more than the offensive coordinator hire. And I think this is what that news is. From Adam Schefter. You're probably right. I totally forgot. I wasn't even thinking about that report, so thank you for reminding me on that. I appreciate the super chat, by the way. Joe says, wonder if that was a big news Schefter was talking about. Yeah, I think it was. Roy says, there's no way that Fangio was leaving and the Eagles knew. Then why did Parker leave? Unfortunately, I think Jeff Stoutland in that case could bring Kelsey as the offensive line coach. Well, I look like at this point, it's like it's so late in the process right now. Like, why would Fangio just completely fucking back out right now? Like, if Fangio was going to retire, he would have retired immediately. This way, the Eagles had a head start to go get a DC in the building. If that was going to be the case, then that's what you do. For him to back out this late, if that's what's going to happen, or if he stays for another year, now we're going to be thinking about, now there's going to be more pressure on us to win a Super Bowl this year. With the offensive staff being a huge question mark and how involved Nick is going to be or not going to be, there's just so much in the fucking air right now. Lang says it's a long shot when he's talking about retiring now. That's why you give Parker a raise and promise him the promotion when Vic retires, but maybe they want Clint Hurtt as the next DC, so it's a mute. Yeah, it might be. I mean, look, if all they would have to say to Christian Parker is, look, let's just do one more year, and then you become the DC for this team. A promotion from within on the defensive side, that would be fine with me. But obviously, either Parker was not going to be patient with this. Was it going to be patient? Or, Clint Hurtt, I don't know how much he's really qualified You know what I mean? I'm not sure. He's been at DC once, and it didn't really go too well. So I don't know how much faith they have in Clint Hurt as the defensive coordinator. I don't know. He's only interviewed for one team. I forgot who he interviewed for this year. But obviously I don't think he got the job anywhere. I've only seen one report on an interview so far. So you got to start thinking of defensive coordinators next like throughout this year. They're going to have to figure out somebody that's going to be available next year. So I'm not really sure. But Stu says, yeah, it's all a little strange. Yeah, just a little bit. I would think Parker would have stayed. I would think Parker probably would have stayed with the Eagles if he was going to be like, yeah, you know what? I'll stay for another year. Great. Same team. I could be around my guys. But him leaving, going to Dallas, like, and then this news comes out, it just makes no sense to me. You know? Michael says Eagles organization is a joke. We can't get out of our own. Then you these clickbaiters. What do you mean? Oh, he interviewed for the Dolphins job. Appreciate Scriptness. Appreciate, buddy. Okay, so that's the job he interviewed for. I only saw one for Clint Hurt. Jeremy LJ, what's going on? He says that's what I meant, Joey, about paying Parker to stay with them, then elevating to DC. Now that would have been a really good move. That would have been a good move. I hate this, dude. I hate this shit. Like, I hate that they wasted this last fucking year, man. This defense was playing out of its mind. This defense kept the Eagles' offense in so many fucking games. Nick Sirianni can sit on a 3-point lead, a 21-point lead, a 15-point lead, and he's satisfied to play conservative for a whole fucking half. I just don't fucking get it. I don't get it. I really don't get it. Oh, boy. Roll Philly Dogs. Roll Philly Dog. What's going on, buddy? He says, Joey, the front office let CP walk, and with this in the year, I'm losing faith in them a little. Also, love Vic, but he needs to decide now. Free agency and draft soon. We can't wait. Clint Hurtford, DC. Yeah, hey, you got free agency is right around the corner. I mean, you got the Super Bowl next week. And then you have free agency really soon. And the Eagles will have to figure out what they're doing with Nakobe Dean and Reed Blankenship and the extension for Jalen Carter and what's going on with Jalen Phillips and is Brandon Graham coming back and is Dallas Goedert coming back. Like, there are some key decisions that are going to have to be made. So I don't know. I honestly don't know. Hmm. It was, man. It was a wasted season. It really was. Really fucking was, man. They got to the playoffs because of fucking talent, and that's as far as it went. They got to the playoffs because they had the talent on the team, and that was it. The 49ers blew their load against the Philadelphia Eagles in the playoff game, and then they get fucking annihilated the week after in the playoffs. So what does that tell you, you know? Kyle says, Joey, what position do you think we go round one? Do you think we take Proctor, right tackle? Honestly, dude, like I think the Eagles need to sacrifice that second round pick this year. I think they need to pick twice in the first round this year. Like, I don't think they shouldn't even have a second round pick. They should sacrifice that pick. And I think if the Eagles, if Lane Johnson retires, which I don't know if he's going to, if Lane Johnson retires, I think they got to trade AJ Brown. I think if Lane retires, they trade AJ Brown, and then you go after a receiver and fucking an offensive lineman in the first round. You're gonna have to. You're gonna have to. I think they need to pick more than I think they need 2 picks in the first round. They need a couple selections. So, they need to do something. Treville says, I don't like what they did at OC. Can't gamble on a guy who has no play calling experience when our Super Bowl window is open now. This could be Batul 2.0. Part 2, FO needs to self-examine to see why a job wasn't wanted. Well, Dude, the job wasn't wanted because there was no job security with this offensive coordinator job. There was no job security. I understand that people are so shocked, like, how are these OCs backing out? Why isn't the ball coming here or Mike McDaniel coming? No one's coming here because there's no job security. This is a one and done trip. This is a one and done job, a 1-year job. Because a lot of these older fucking OCs, they want head coaching jobs. Mike McDaniel probably is going to want a head coaching job soon. Back to a head coaching job soon. Daboll, well, Mike McDaniel's a fucking pussy anyway because he just wants to stay in fucking warm weather with his fucking capris on. Daboll, I don't know why he even wasted his time because he already planned out, if I'm not getting a head coaching job, I'm going to go to the fucking Titans with Robert Saleh. And obviously, with that quarterback over in Tennessee, the Giants had a lot of interest in that quarterback. They were going to move up in the draft and go give up a shit ton of picks for him, which they didn't. So I think they'd rather work with a fucking shittier team to have more job security. It makes no sense to me. I don't know. There's pressure from, why did Declan Doyle back out of the job? Too many voices in the offensive room, maybe, that he wasn't going to have full control of the offense. There's just a lot of questions with it, honestly. Matt says, honestly, we should trade AJ in a fifth for the Ravens, 14th, and Wiggins. We need a cornerback, too, and he doesn't fit their scheme. The Ravens need a wide receiver 1. It makes sense for both teams. That wouldn't be bad. If I was to trade AJ Brown, I would like to get a player on defense. I would like to get one of their top players on defense. Like, if you're the number one thing is you have to trade AJ to the AFC. Do not keep AJ Brown in the NFC. So that's the number one thing right there. Any word on what comp picks will look like this year? Did the Eagles get rewarded the comp picks yet? I don't know if they did. They might have not got reward. They have 3. I just don't know where they're specifically at. Cohen says, hey, Joey, do you think if Mannion does well in the offense coordinator position, will be considered head coach for the future for the Eagles? Yes, I do. If he does well the next couple of years, potentially, like, Nick could be out. Yeah. And then we won't have to worry about a head. Don't have to worry about a head coach that doesn't keep the play calling in house. Now we will have that. So all I could say is we could root for this guy. And he was coach. He was the offensive coordinator for the East versus West Shrine Bowl. There's a lot of people that did film on it as of right now, and apparently he did a really good job. So look, at the end of the day, we have to think about it like this. We know that this is probably not the right moment to hire a guy that has no play calling capability. I get that. And I think that's why Grizzard is in the building as well. I don't think people are talking good things about Sean Mannion out of just saying good things just to throw a bone at him. I think he's getting a lot of respect. And you have to think about it like this. Like, every OC that's successful right now has had their first opportunity. That's how you find these new offensive coordinators. At some point, Kyle Shanahan had his first opportunity, and it was success. Kellen Moore, I think before he went to the Cowboys as the OC, he only had 1 year of coaching experience, and that was it. And then, Mike McDaniel, all these coaches have had their first opportunity. If the Eagles were rebuilding right now, like, completely, and we didn't have a good roster, and like then this wouldn't be a bad signing because there's a lot of pressure. I mean, I'm glad that the Eagles won't be defending Super Bowl champions anymore. Take that out, because I'm glad that the eyes won't be on us next year, which is good. The pressure won't be on us next year. But, somebody has to be given an opportunity. Matt LaFleur has said really good things about Sean Mannion, being involved in that staff. And he did a lot more last year than being a quarterback coach. He definitely helped with concepts, play design. having Josh Grizzard in the building, he's been an offensive coordinator last year. He's been a passing game coordinator in 24. As a passing game coordinator, when Josh Grizzard was the pass game coordinator in 2024, Josh Grizzard, I think, led the league in third down conversions at 50.9%, first in the league. So I think we have to give it a shot. We just have to give it a shot. Both those coaches have worked under the McVay tree. So I looked at if you watch my video from today, I looked at all the metrics from Philadelphia to Tampa Bay to Green Bay for the 2025 season. It's a huge fucking difference. It's night and day when it comes to third down conversions, when it comes to hitch routes and wide receiver percentage targets, and everything. It's, you know what I mean? I think we have to give it. I'm shocked that Jim Bob Cooter didn't sign with the Eagles. I'll tell you right now, I'm shocked they passed on Jim Bob Cooter. Okay, because he's been here. He was here in 21 as an assistant, and he worked under Steichen and did a lot of play designs for Steichen in that playbook over there with the Colts, especially last year. So I'm shocked that Jim Bob Cooter actually did get this is a Jeffrey Lurie signing. This isn't a Nick signing. This is a Jeffrey Lurie signing. They want a guy to reinvent himself, kind of like how they brought in Andy Reid, and he was here for a decade and a half. Okay, they like to hire the unknown. They like to hire a coach that is going to invent himself, and I think that's what they're doing here with Sean Mannion. I think that's what they're doing here. Jared Medjai, what's going on, buddy? Appreciate the super chat. Says, I've been saying that they are looking for Nick's replacement with the OC search. We can't keep going through the cycle every 1 to 2 years. No, it's got to stop. It really has to stop. Okay? There's so many unknowns going into this 26 season, like what this roster is going to. I don't even know what they're going to do in free agency. You know what I mean? The Eagles apparently right now are going to have $20.2 million in cap space, with the league cap going up from 302 to 305 million. The Eagles should have 20.2-ish million, a little over 20 million. Okay. Obviously, there's some easy contracts to get a good amount of cap. And I think the number one contract right now is going to be Jalen Hurts, where his cap number is over $30 million for the 26 season. They got to restructure, extend him. The Eagles could say, and that's an easy one to do. So I'm not even worried about them not being able to do it. They could save over $20 million just from one move. So the Eagles will have over $40 million in cap space. Because if you only have $20.2 million in cap space, you only have you need to spend 8 to 10, 5 to 10 for the draft. So realistically, the Eagles only have between 12 to 15 million to spend. And you ain't doing much with that. You know what I mean? The Eagles free agency is going to be our own free agency. Our re-signs is going to be our free agency. Locking up guys will be our free agency this year. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Don't expect the Eagles going to free agency, signing this one and that one to big money. It's not going to happen. Our own roster. That's the greatest thing. Howie Roseman dealing with his own roster and their agents is better for the team, especially for Howie Roseman to negotiate with some of these players and their agents is a real positive thing, So. Vince says Mannion has parallels with Andy Reid, QB coach from Green Bay, up and coming offensive mind, highly regarded by his peers. Yes, 100%. So the big question is how much control is Mannion going to have? And, how is this offense going to look under him? And Jalen Hurts needs stability. The amount of offensive coordinators, the amount of voices over the last all these years, 13, 14, 15 offensive coordinators since fucking college. It's crazy. He needs one voice. He needs a relationship with an offensive coordinator for the next few years. So I low-key want to get rid of Nick, even if he can't play call. At least make good decisions. If he didn't even do that right in 25 season, trust me. I think fans would actually like this move of Mannion if Nick wasn't here. I think people would like it more. But because they hired Mannion with no experience at play calling, and that Nick is still in the building, it's almost to say that this guy is going to be controlled. But I want to kind of keep my, I kind of want to have, some positive vibes on it, and things are going to change because now Grizzard's in the building now. So now it's not just Nick, and it's not just Mannion now. Now Grizzard's in the building, which means that there is now a shoulder to lean on if things do go sour. So if the if the offensive coordinator fails, it won't go to Nick Sirianni, where it puts the pressure on him to step in and really fuck everything up. I haven't liked Nick. Nick Sirianni to me has been, I don't know. Like I don't want to be negative on him, but I don't think he's done much of anything for this team. I don't. Without him, without him, like I get it. Like maybe he's a culture setter. Maybe he keeps the team, he controls the vibes of the team going in week to week. But is that enough for a head coach to make a salary? Is that enough for him to have an actual job? I don't know. Like, I feel like he just doesn't do enough. The guy in 5 years, he can't call his own offense. 5 years. And within 1 year, at 2-5 record, he gave the play calling over to Steichen. I mean, it's been on the fucking wall for so damn long. You know what I mean? Jermaji with the super chat. Thank you so much, buddy. Third one of the day. Says it's because they gave Nick too much credit for the Super Bowl. Well, yeah. I mean, every other year it's been the same pattern. The Eagles hire someone outside the organization, they're successful. They hire someone inside the organization, they're fucking, they collapse. They collapse. And honestly, the 2023 offense looked way better than this offense. And I think Jalen Hurts embraced Brian Johnson a lot more than he doesn't embrace fucking Kevin Patullo, Nick Sirianni, and what they did this past year. Jamaji with the super chat. Appreciate it again, buddy. Says they should give Nick pom-poms. All he's good for. Yeah. And look, guys, I'm going to be realistic. Like, I keep it real on this channel. Like, I don't go with the trend of everything. Like, trust me, I don't care if I get attacked by 1 million people because of something that I said. Like, I'm just real with everything. And you know what? If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. If I'm right, great. I don't throw it in anybody's face that I'm right. But I don't think Nick Sirianni is good for this team. I think he's a distraction. I don't think he's the reason we've won a Super Bowl as of recent. I just feel like he's really been riding the coattails on talent from what Howie Roseman has done, and Kellen Moore won us that season. I mean, it's just Kellen Moore and the talent together, and the DC and Vic Fangio won us that fucking season. Saquon Barkley won us that season. Jalen Hurts won us that season. The whole roster. Yeah, because he grew up with Brian Johnson. Yes, that is true too. That is true. I just felt like there was more of an embrace with him, and the passing game did look better. There were times where everything looked like shit. And our defense was just a fucking mess. Like, I get it. GT says, how do we go from a Super Bowl team best original to 1 year later to this? Yeah, it's bad. It's just bad decision making. It's you were 8-2 at one point. You were fucking 8-2. You had so much time to fucking fix this shit. So much time. 8-2 record. And then you had the bye week. And it got worse after the bye week. The most complete games through 4 quarters of football that the Eagles had this past year was the second game versus the Giants and the fucking Raiders game against two of the worst teams. They have choked in so many fucking games this year. We couldn't tell who was calling the plays, who was taking over. I mean, the adjustments, that is the worst thing. There are times the Eagles look so great. There's a rhythm. The offense looks fluid in the first half, and then they get to that second half, and like they'll sit on a 3-point lead. Nick will sit on a fucking 15-point lead. After that Dallas game, sitting on a 21-0 fucking lead and choking that away, I was like, Jesus. Then the Bears game. I mean, it was just never fucking ending, never ending. Now we go into an off season, made a lot of changes, you know. I never thought the Eagles would go into this off season and all these coordinators were just going to fucking throw themselves at us for an interview. No, I don't think that's the case. I don't think that's the case. Roll Philly Dog says, unpopular take, Joey. We should have let Vic retire and move on. I love Vic, but with a new young OC, NY receiver might want out. Need to pay core defensive guys. Maybe it's time for a quick revamp like 21. I mean, look, you're not wrong. I mean, potentially, like, the problem is they're so late in the fucking process of hiring somebody right now. Who's out there? You know what I mean? That's going to come in. So, I mean, I'm hoping right now that Vic is still going to be the DC like this year. And like, I'm happy about that, which means that the roster will get better defensively, which Howie Roseman will make the right moves defensively. And hopefully, don't know what's going to happen with Dean. We don't know what's going to happen. We're talking just strict free agents. We're not even talking extensions like Jalen Carter and what's going to happen with Jalen Phillips. You know, he's going to get a good amount of, he's going to get a substantial good amount of money. You know, I don't know what they're doing. You know, but if we have one more year with Fangio, then good. You know, then the roster will be better and we'll have more players locked up. And someone that comes in as the DC after next year has got to figure it out. I mean, it's not even, right now, it's not even, nothing is set in stone right now that Fangio's coming back. Like, I'm seeing like, oh, Fangio is stated to return, but it's still up in the air. Like, you know what I mean? He says, I don't know if I heard you wrong, but didn't you say that Nick took over the running game coordinating job in 24? Well, in 24? No. I said that when we found out the news about Jeff Stoutland getting his run game coordinator job taken away from him early in the season, who took over that? Did Nick and Patul take over the run game? Because maybe they felt like Jeff Stoutland had a lot on his plate because the offensive line was getting hurt every fucking week. Dickerson couldn't even stand on his 2 feet by week 3 of the season. Juergens had probably everybody had their worst year of their career in Philadelphia, offensive line-wise. Mulata was horrible. Dickerson was horrible. You know, Juergens, my God, I mean, whiffing on 2 to 3 blocks per game. I mean, they couldn't hold their blocks. I mean, there was issues, big issues. Tyler Steen, and Lane Johnson was probably our best offensive lineman, but he was out half the season. And he was supposed to come back for that Bears playoff game that the Eagles couldn't get to. And honestly, even that they lost that playoff game and put us out of our misery, I'm happy that it was over. I was I was a little mad. I was honestly not that mad when they lost that playoff game. I honestly was like fucking relieved that they lost and it was over. Like, you know what I mean? Like, okay, so they go to Soldier Field and get their ass kicked next week. Like who cares? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I want them to win, but I didn't want them to lose the 49ers game. I'm saying, like, when it was like coming to a point where it was over, I was like actually fucking relieved that it was over. I was relieved of it. I felt good about it. I said, "Fuck yeah, great." They're one and done in the playoffs. They have all this time to find an OC. They have time on their side now, which is good. Ron said, "Damn, Joey, I just realized I changed my card info and got an update to get my membership back." Oh, no problem, dude. I appreciate it, bro. Al says, said sad Christian Parker left. We could have promoted him. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why the Eagles didn't fall on telling him. You know, I don't know. I don't know what was going on. Well, yeah, says the Eagles never put out nothing saying Vic Fangio was leaving or thinking about leaving. Why are we putting so much stock into that bullshit report? I mean, it's getting reported all over the place. I mean, Mike Garofalo's reporting on it now, so it's. I don't think it's bullshit. Like, I don't think if it's bullshit that he's leaving, then it's bullshit. But it's not bullshit that we're going to need a DC after this year. I mean, it's not going to be bullshit. You know, like obviously, like it's all over the fucking place. K. Robinson, what's going on? So the problem with have it is with the plays and not just the play calling. Y'all are overplaying the calling part. It was the trash play that was the problem. Oh no, it definitely was. The play calling was the problem. The offensive line was the fucking problem too, because that didn't help either. The Eagles couldn't get them. The Eagles couldn't get the offense in a fluid motion and play sequences. Like as a coordinator, you run a certain order of plays in a series to give your offense rhythm, to take pressure off your quarterback, to get the offense going. And they couldn't fucking do it. You know? Eagle Nation, please tell me it's not true. Reports say they convinced him to come back. I think he's convinced to come back for one more year, but it says that it's still up in the air. And somebody that called the Eagles reps, apparently the answer is that they're not giving an answer that it's true or not. They're not giving an answer back. So it's not official, but the Eagles are pushing to keep him for another year. That's as real as it gets. Mike Garofalo says, as Jimmy Kempski reports here, Vic Fangio return has been uncertain and sort of still is. It's been leaning to the positive recently, but could change again. The Eagles haven't confirmed or denied anything to this point. So we don't have a final answer in this. But even if he's here for one more year, it's a good thing. So at least like we have some stability for another year, get this roster better. And then hopefully the next DC that comes in after this year for the 27 season, hopefully they don't fuck it up. You know? I mean, look, Jim Schwartz is out there. I don't know whether if Fangio retires right now, Jim Schwartz is out there. I honestly don't know how I even feel about him coming back. Because the latter part of Jim Schwartz being in Philadelphia, I just didn't fucking like. I didn't like how he had this veteran favoritism, playing Derek Barnett every week. That fucking what's his name? He was really bad with fucking linebackers. There's just a lot, man. There's just a lot that Sean McDermott, I mean, do I really see him coming in to be a DC anywhere? I don't know. Someone's going to want him as a head coach. Whether he says, screw it, I'll take the Eagles DC job if Fangio retires. I don't know. I don't know. A lot of uncertain. Aston says Jim Schwartz as replacement VC for DC. So it says, yeah, that's not good. How that report is going is still uncertain. I mean, for Fangio For Fangio to fucking like leave now would be horrible. Like horrible. Like if he was gonna retire, he should have just fucking retired like as soon as the season was over. For him to retire this fucking late, the Eagles are gonna be in a fucked up spot. So I really think this is the last year for Sirianni, regardless of what happens. If Mannion is bad, he's fired. If Mannion is great, he takes Nick's job and we promote Grizzer to OC. Yeah, or you know what I mean? It's a pot in that regard, buddy. It's a positive. The only negative to all of that of what you just said is we have to watch Eagles football for another year of just a wasted fucking year. That's going to be the only negative about all of that is that we're going to have to watch this team fucking crumble yet again. Like, yeah, this is on Nick. Like, this is going to be the third time he's hired a fucking OC with no fucking play calling experience. The third time. And they've allowed this to happen. But I'm willing to give it a chance. Okay? Mannion is hiring his own offensive staff. We don't know who's going, who's staying. We don't know yet. But it has been reported. I'm trying to find it because I had it here. Yeah, Jeff Kerr says there's going to be a lot of changes on the offensive side. Hold on. Actually, no, that's not the right report. I saw a report today. I forgot where it was. I don't care what Elliott Shore Parks has to say. He don't know fucking shit. I'm trying to find it. I can't find it. I don't know where the fuck it's at. I saw a report earlier today that Mannion is still filling. He's going to be filling out his. We still need a run game coordinator. We still, depending on what he's doing at quarterback coach, wide receiver coach. Like I would get the wide receiver coach out of here. I think he's been here too long. I was already pissed enough that Michael Clay, the special teams coordinator, was fucking coming back, which I didn't like that either. Yeah, that's why I'm happy about these hires. Our passing game should look better. It's going to look better. I'm telling you right now, our passing game is going to look fucking way better. Way better. We're going to get to the line. We're going to get the ball in Jalen Hurts' hands as he's going to rumble out. Okay? We're not going to sit at the fucking line for all of the time where there's 2 seconds left to get a playoff, get the defense fucking prepared for everything that's thrown at them. From a passing game standpoint, the Eagles are going to do really well with these two guys. I'm telling you right now. Yo, we don't talk bad about Short Parks. You don't know fucking shit. I hate that guy. I don't hate anybody, but you don't know shit. So you don't know fucking shit. Williams says, give the man what he deserves with money and years because without him, we can't do this shit. I hate Lurie Howie for allowing the Nick to fuck up our window of winning. We should be going for our fourth in a row. Yeah, I mean they should have won this year. I mean that offense was on grinding on all 4 cylinders. If that offense got to what it was capable of, they should be in the Super Bowl this year. It's really unfortunate. It's really, really unfortunate. George says, what I'm scared of happening is that the passing game succeeds and the front office gives Nick the credit and they end up keeping him long term. Well, I don't think, like I know I don't really live off of what ifs, it just depends. We are going to see the difference. Okay, we're going to know from that first fucking regular season game how different this offense looks. Players starting in preseason or not, we're going to find out a lot within the first couple of weeks of the regular season how this offense looks. We're going to find out. We are going to find out. Okay, if these guys can play football or not. You could tell on play design. You could tell off the bat when it comes to this roster. We'll get our answers. Bros, I want to see a lot of more motion rub routes, QB under center, and quicker running back runs, not those delayed slow. All right, so I'm gonna put this up. Let me. Let me actually put this up because I think this is important. Here it is. Everybody could see. Okay, might not be big enough, but I'm trying. So this is the offensive metrics from Philly to Green Bay to Tampa Bay. Okay, for the 25 season. All right. Now, interesting enough, okay, you're going to see a lot of differences here. Okay, running plays out of shotgun. Okay, the Eagles lead that category, which the Eagles shotgun, 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 shotgun. I mean, just no motion, nothing. 71% in shotgun to Green Bay's 57%, to Tampa Bay's 61%. So night and day difference. Okay, night and day difference. Under center for the Philadelphia Eagles, 22%. Green Bay, 37. Tampa Bay, 35. That's under Josh Grizzard. Green Bay, I don't know how much you're putting into Sean Mannion under Green Bay's offense, but we're just kind of going through because those were those two other coaches, and Mannion and Grizzard kind of came from, so that's why everything's been a big difference there. So under center was a huge difference. Motion, okay, 30% for the Eagles for motion. Green Bay, 38%. Tampa Bay, 40%. Okay. Let's see. Tight end targets are good. I mean, Dallas Goedert had a really good year because they barely fucking threw to anybody else when it made sense. It looks like Green Bay and Tampa Bay threw more to running backs last year. Let's see. Screenplays, 6% for the Eagles, 9% for Green Bay, 13% for Tampa Bay. They love the running backs over there. Hitch routes. Look at the hitch routes. Hitch route percentage, 24% for the Eagles, 13% for Green Bay, 15% for Tampa Bay. Night and day difference for hitch routes. Crazy. Look at the crossing routes, crossers, middle of the field. We barely saw that last year, right? 8% for the Philadelphia Eagles on crosser percentage, 10% for Green Bay, 12% for Tampa Bay, a little bit higher for two other teams. Look at 11 personnel. Where the fuck is look at motion. Eagles, 30% in motion, 38 for Green Bay, 38%, 40% for Tampa Bay. Here's 11 personnel percentage and 12 personnel percentage. The Eagles came in second place at 60%. Green Bay was a little bit less than that, and Tampa Bay ran it a lot, 69%. Look at 12 personnel, 27% for the Philadelphia Eagles, 33% for Green Bay, and obviously Tampa Bay with the lowest at 20%. So there's a lot of night and day fucking differences, okay? First down on 11 personnel percentage, 52% for the Eagles, 46% for Green Bay, which was lower, and a whopping high 60% for Tampa Bay under Grizzard as the coordinator for Tampa Bay last year. So there's a lot of there's a lot of night and day differences with what the Eagles were doing. A lot of night and day differences there. So some of these metrics are pretty insane. 6% screens is disgusting. Yeah, it's bad. I mean, look, man, the Green Bay stats probably don't matter as much because I don't know how Mannion. I thought Mannion has helped LaFleur with some things revolving when it comes to that offense. He has helped him with things, but obviously Tampa Bay is a good stat because Grizzard was the offensive coordinator last year. So, Let's see, Jay says, Jair, that is what I was saying, especially after the Broncos game. Saquon can catch a few passes here and there. The explosives get him involved in the passing game like McCaffrey. Yeah, we've always wanted that. They made things too predictable with the running backs as well. You know what I mean? Shipley comes in, it's a passing down. I mean, it always is 100%. Like Tank Bigsby, shame on those motherfuckers for not using him. Shame on them for not using Tank Bigsby as a number 2 back. Seriously. Wow. Like, every time Saquon was either hurt or had to come out of the game, Tank was always fucking productive. And yet, they did nothing. They did not even, they never fucking put him, they never put him in. In fucking insane, bro. Insane. EC, what's going on, buddy? It says AJ Saquon were hanging out watching. The UFC fight. Yeah, I saw that. That's good. That's good. I think they used Shipley over Bigsby because they drafted Shipley. Who cares? Like Shipley in the passing game, I actually like him as a receiving back. As a runner, I'm not really amazed by it. Tank Bigsby was like another LeGarrette Blount. I mean, the physicality, how he could turn on a dime, and still managing his speed at a high level, and just physical, just a physical specimen. Just getting those tough yards. I mean, he was so fucking good. It's boxing. I don't watch UFC or boxing, so I'm sorry. What do you mean? I don't watch that. I don't watch that at all, so don't blame me. The good thing is, as of right now, is you have Tank Bigsby for another year, and he's very cheap this year. So he costs like between $1 to $2 million for the year. It's not much. It's really not much. He's definitely worth every penny. Yo, Ryle and Yancey, what's going on, buddy? Thank you for becoming the camp counselor and the camp counselor tier, my friend. Thank you so much for joining up and becoming a member, or re-becoming a member, or upgrading to a member. I appreciate it, buddy. I appreciate it so much. You drafted Shipley, but traded 2 good picks for Tank. That makes no sense. Originally, they had Tank on special teams. And he didn't do shit. Remember, we were muffing every fucking kick return, every punt return. I remember we were muffing everything special teams, and the offense was in bad, on top of bad play calling, the fucking offense was in bad position. Like Michael Clay, I didn't want to resign. Like, I don't know why they like him so much. I really don't. I hate that running backs are fucking kick returners. That I cannot stand. Running backs as kick returners is like, nah. I fucking hate it. I hate it. Leon Banks, what's going on, buddy? He says Clint Hurst the next DC. I don't know. I don't know, man. So, I mean, from what it looks like, if Vic is staying here, great. If not, then I don't know. Fucking crazy. I saw that shit today and I was like, you gotta be fucking. I'm like, I'm really hoping. Like, regardless, like, even if they keep Fangio for another year, it's like, you already know he's gone after this year. And it's like, what the fuck are they gonna do? New DC now. Fucking, I swear to God, we can never have a fucking break. Every 1 to 2 years, there's always a fucking change. I don't care about the assistant coach. I mean, I do care about the assistant coaches. But man, like, they can't keep an OC in the building. They can't. I mean, it's nuts, man. Nuts. Ron says, you're my guy, bro. You know this. I appreciate it, Ron. I appreciate your support, buddy. It means a lot. You know that. You know that. K-Rob says, because they probably didn't have plays for Tank, KP and Nick aren't good play design. Oh, that's obvious. It's like, oh man, this guy, every time this guy comes in for Saquon, he's always producing. Yeah, you know what? Let's just keep him on the bench. I'm just not sure about this. Vana Talk says fake news. We're going to fucking find out if it's fake news. We're gonna fucking find out. I don't give a shit. Let me tell you, it. Look, these reports aren't from Joe fucking Schmo. Okay, Joe Schmo from fucking, you know, America fucking newspaper. Okay, these are reports coming from multiple fucking people. I don't know. I'm hoping it's a lie, but it's hard for me to say that it's going to be a lie. It's hard. Bill says, Joey, are we going to re-signing Jalen Phillips? Yeah, I don't know. Edge rusher's another big question too. Safety's another one. Like, I wouldn't even mind re-signing Marcus Epps for one more year. I thought he actually played really fucking well ever since he got into that Chargers game. And by the end of the year, I thought Marcus Epps played really good. You know, Makuba, he looked like a rookie early in the season. Back end communication was a little bit of a problem. He became a little bit more solid middle of the season. Then he fucking broke his fibula. I mean, I don't know. I mean, he's too fucking small, man. Too fucking small. Way too fucking small. No, definitely not. Hell no. DeJean does way more inside than he does as a safety. Like, even moving DeJean to outside, like, I don't even think he's that great at it. Like, I think you could put him there if you need him there, but I don't think he's fantastic at it. Safety, he's been okay. He fucked up a few times at outside corner when we needed him, and at safety a few times. Like, I want him as an inside corner. I think that's what DeJean wants, and I think that's what Fangio wants. I don't think he's moving anywhere. So, Ryan, so my concern is if they knew this Fangio was possible, why let Parker go, especially to Dallas? Yeah, I don't know. That makes no sense. Makes no fucking sense. Yeah, O-line is definitely huge. They need to rebuild the offensive line. Yes. These guys need to get fucking healthy. That's number one. Number two, they need some good depth at guard. And they need to see what's going on with Lane Johnson. If Lane Johnson's retiring, I'm pulling the trigger on an A.J. Brown trade to get another pick in that first round. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Anybody wants a receiver in the AFC? I'm making that fucking trade. Yeah, Mekhi Becton coming back, I think, is a possibility. I think it is. He's still young. He hired a new agent. He wasn't happy about being in LA at all. I know he got hurt. He was a healthy scratch for a couple weeks. I think he's a major possibility to come back. If they can get Mekhi Becton back, they have Steen as the backup right guard. I'm okay with that. They still need to get another. They still need to draft a future tackle. They need to draft a future tackle. They need a tackle. You know, Lane Johnson's got one more year. Lane Johnson is probably going to come back this year. I mean, I would have to say he rested himself to play in that fucking, if the Eagles advance in the playoffs, to play in Soldier Field against the Bears, which obviously didn't happen. So he's probably like, oh, fuck no, I'm not going out like this. I'm playing for another year. But they need to, whether they bring Mekhi Becton back or they fucking draft a tackle that could maybe play next to Lane at guard, I don't know. For the year, at least to not, I mean, the last thing I want to do is draft a tackle in the first round because Lane is staying and he's a redshirt all fucking year. You know? I think the Eagles fucked up. When Andre Dillard was fucking drafted, I think they completely fucked him up. Because remember, Jason Peters was still here. Dillard was redshirted. And this was one of the very few interviews where it was a heavy defensive draft, I remember. The Eagles were trying to be smart. They went for the first offensive lineman in the draft in the first round. What was that, 2020, 21? I forgot what year that was. They never even had a meeting with Dillard before. Never had a draft meeting with Dillard at all. That was one of the very few picks the Eagles had where they never even had a pre-draft interview. You know? Where's that? He says, Joey, I have the same hat you're wearing. I got to get a new one. I got to get a couple new hats. I need a Kelly Green hat badly. German J with the super chat. Appreciate it, buddy. He says, trade AJ to Raiders, their second round pick, then use the second. The Tutus will have move up in the first round and get who we want. Still, So, no. If I'm trading AJ Brown, I ain't asking for a 2. A fucking second round pick for AJ. No fucking way that's happening. No fucking way. Like there's no, either you give me 2 2s or you give me you give me 2 1s or you give me a fucking 1 and a fucking player that we need. That's still on a rookie contract or something that we need. There's no fucking way I'm giving up AJ for a fucking second round pick just to have 2 2s. No. No. Mm-mm. No freaking way. I mean, it's not a bad idea, but he's got way more value than a second round pick. You get him for a second round pick, we got fleeced. You know? Dallas 5005 with the super chat says it was the boogeyman, as a matter of fact, it was. Who? The boogeyman. What does that mean? I don't know. Is that supposed to mean something? I have no idea what that means. Appreciate the super chat though, but I just don't know what that means. Let's bring Brandon Brooks out of retirement. Nah, I'd rather keep AJ Brown than trade him for a second round pick and have to take that massive cap hit. So you think the Eagles won't be able to get a first round pick for him because of that fucking dead cap? I don't know how that works because pre-June 1st, it's going to be, I mean, I don't know how they're going to do it because pre-June 1st, if you trade him, it's like $43 million in dead cap, which would be like the 5th or 6th, I think highest, I think the 5th or 6th largest cap hit in history. Dead cap hit in history, which I don't know. Dave said we got AJ Brown for a first round draft pick since he has been on our team. He hasn't had a good catch to yardage. We need a first round and a third. They can get they the fuck was I saying? They AJ Brown is going to have a lot of value. Is going to have a lot of value. So I'm not worried about how he looked with the Eagles this year. There was a lot more issues with. Well, he had a bad year. It's like okay, he still had over 1,000 yards this year, but I mean, compared to what he's done his other years, it's been a down year. It's 100%. Dallas 5045 with a super chat says, "Is that not your intro, sir?" Oh, the intro. Okay, now I know what you're saying. Sorry. I don't know. You said the boogeyman's coming, so I was like kind of confused on what that meant. So, Demir Jace with the super chat says nobody's giving us a 1, Joey. I meant just as far as picks, but yes, obviously we need more. Raiders have the 36 pick. That's pretty big. Yeah, no, I get it. 31st pick. They have 2 firsts. They have 2 firsts this year. They need something, bro. They need something. I'm not gonna give him up for a low fucking. I don't know. I mean, I don't even know what's gonna happen. I don't even know if he's even gonna get traded. I mean, I don't know what's gonna happen. But if Lane retires, they're gonna have to do something with him. Like I feel like they need more draft capital. That was just no. I wouldn't trade AJ. Take the chance of falling back to the days where Jordan Matthews was our best receiver. We have elite receivers. Keep him. We'll see how it goes. I mean, I don't know. Depending what they do in free agency for the first few weeks and who they bring in, and like if I feel good about the offensive line going into the draft, where they're going to still have to draft somebody within the first couple of rounds, whether it's day 1 or day 2, they're going to have to draft somebody. Chris says, do you think Howie told CP and Clint he will be our new DC if Vic leaves? CP said okay and got the promotion with Dallas. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, like that is a big question mark. Whether there's a plan. If the Eagles have known that that he was contemplating on retiring, has there been a backup plan since Super Bowl 59? Since the end of 24 when we won the Super Bowl, that's when Vic Fangio apparently told other coaches that he has been contemplating on leaving. Finally winning a Super Bowl. The last time Vic Fangio was in the Super Bowl, I think, was 2012 with the 49ers, I think. I lost, obviously. So, I said, hey, Joey, should we bring back Reed? I would, yeah. I mean, look, I don't think Reed's going to ask for a lot of money because I don't think his system. I mean, he's a 2 interception type guy every year. He's a 2 interception guy. I don't think Reed's going to ask for much. I just statistic like he's solid. He's not Ed Reed. He's not like he ain't no game changer for our defense, but he's solid. He's very solid, and he's got really good chemistry with the guys. So I don't think he's going to be that much. Jay says LD2 balling like Davis, Phillips, Dean in order of importance. Davis is here. Well, Davis is already on his 5th-year option. Davis isn't a free agent. They picked up his 5th-year option, which is he's playing on his option year this year. I think they should extend Davis. We know that Jalen Carter will get that big extension soon. We got to remember, too, like DeJean and Quinion Mitchell are going to get extended at some point, like in the next couple of years, because remember, remember, DeJean doesn't have a 5th-year option because he's not a first-round pick. He was a second-round pick. So they got to make room for both of those guys as well. I think you got to sign the Kobe Dean. Because I'm telling you right now, he's going to go to Dallas. He's going to go to fucking Dallas if he doesn't sign in Philly. I'm telling you right now, like, Parker is going to get Dean to Dallas. I fucking guarantee you that's what's going to happen. I guarantee you that's what's going to happen. But Dean is going to have a lot of connection with this team because of his Georgia fucking Bulldog fucking teammates. And, you know what I mean? I'm hoping that they're going to find a way. Look, Zach Bond is only here for another 2 years, I think, right? This year and next year, 26 and 27. Dean needs a contract. They have got to pay fucking Dean. Somehow, some way, they got to get it done. Christian Parker is going to grab as many fucking Eagles defensive players he's going to get out of free. I'm telling you, it's going to happen. He could grab Dean and fucking. I'm telling you, it's not going to shock me. Logan Motorsports, what's going on, buddy? He says, Joey, who do you pay first, Carter, Dean, or Davis? Well, I mean, realistically, Carter's still on contract this year, but you have to somewhat get something done. Davis is still on contract. So realistically, it's Nakobe Dean. I'm getting something done with Nakobe Dean first or anything. I think Dean is like high priority. Like Bond was high priority last year. Thank God he was. I think Dean has got to be high priority. I'm sorry. Like Dean, it's just weird because Dean has been hurt every fucking year. He is injury prone as fuck. But every time he steps on the field healthy, my God, our defense fucking changes, especially against the run. My God. Having DeJean as the inside corner and kind of, I mean, dropping back in coverage, what he could do in open space, and then having Dean behind that is just, it's great. It's great. Gotta be Nakobe Dean. Chris says, I'm absolutely signing Dean. I'd play Campbell at edge. Yeah, Campbell, like, they're wasting this fucking guy away. I don't know what they're doing with Campbell. Like, you know, because Bond is here and because that Dean like got healthy and came back to the point where Campbell had no fucking snaps. No snaps at all. I don't know what they're doing. Are they going to put him at edge rusher? Are they going to, I mean, they got to do something with Campbell. He's a first round pick. Like they can't keep him as a rotational guy. I don't know what they're doing with him. I don't. So if Dean doesn't come back, they might say, fuck it. I know they like Jahad Campbell because his coverage is actually really good. Against the run, I think Dean is just a little bit better. Dean is just a better athlete right now. And I really think they like Jeremiah Trotter Jr. a lot. Like, I think Trotter Jr. can actually start for this team at linebacker, at middle linebacker. The problem is he's got so much fucking competition in front of him. I think Fangio likes all his linebackers, especially Jeremiah Trotter Jr. So Jay says, yes, however, Eagles drafted Jihad and still have Trotter, so Eagles have linebacker depth. Also, while Dean is good when he is on the field, the best ability is availability. And that's been the fucking problem. It's been the problem with Dean. I mean, even if you take Dean out of the equation, you still got pretty good starting. You got good starters and you have good depth. But Dean is just Dean from running East and West. What he could do as the general, as the green dot for this defense against the run. I mean, Dean is just Campbell. Campbell can't do what Dean is doing right now at middle linebacker. I mean, not middle linebacker, because if Dean is not here, Vaughn will be the middle linebacker and he'll be on the outside. So I'm not liking how they drafted this guy, and because Dean is back last year from injury, his snaps just totally went to shit. Now, small Munden is going to be nothing but a special teamer. I don't think he's going to do much. Munden's going to be nothing but a special teamer. I don't think he's anything but a special teamer. Chris says Munden is still here, yeah, but nothing amazing. Because it's totally stunted Jihad's progress last year. Let Jihad grow. He's going to be the next best linebacker in the NFL. Yeah, potentially he can. If he's not getting the snaps, he ain't going to go anywhere. That's the I mean, unless they say, hey, Jihad Campbell's going to be our new fucking edge rusher, they want to make him a full-time edge rusher, I'd be okay with that. But can he do it, though? He's done it in college, but now you're on the NFL level. He's had some snaps at edge rusher, but he hasn't really done much from that position. Probably not much of anything. Once like Campbell once Dean came back, Campbell started to get some snaps, and then when Nolan Smith came back, that's when he lost a lot of reps. Michael Carter was a waste of a trade. Yeah, they didn't do much with him either. He can play inside. Well, no, I don't think it's he's not starting right now, but as it's a waste for the future, probably not, just because you have no depth behind DeGene on inside corner. You have no depth there at all, and that's been our biggest problem. Nobody at cornerback can play on the inside, and on top of everything else, we don't even have a number 2 corner. Adoree Jackson, I thought, I have to give him respect. He played a lot better. He played really good. You know, when Fangio put him one-on-one against fucking, Pickens, or like those weird situations where they had him on like the number 1 guy at wide receiver, which made no sense to me, that kind of pissed me off. But I thought he actually played really good. I thought he actually, he played with a lot of confidence later in the season. A lot of confidence. I wouldn't bring him back. I mean, Slay is going to be available, so I don't know if they want to bring him back and put a Band-Aid on the number 2 spot. Can Slay still play? Didn't really play well with the Steelers, to be honest. Just didn't really play well at all. So that number 2 corner spot, they need to get somebody in there, because, Ringo's horrible. I never want Ringo at number 2 at corner, at the number 2 corner spot ever again. Special teamer, he's good, but he makes some bonehead fucking decisions. He gets a lot of penalties, But I don't want Ringo. I don't want Ringo touching that number 2 spot ever again. Never, ever, fucking ever again. Not happening. Eagles have $8 million in cap if they cut Michael Carter. Well, it's a nice chunk of cap space they could use, but then you're down depth at inside corner. So I don't know. Ringo is very good. Sheesh. Joe says, I never want to hear Ringo and Adoree name again. Yeah, I get it, dude. Like Adoree, I got to give Adoree props because he actually played really fucking well. He actually played very well at the end of the season. I thought as middle to the end of the season, I thought he actually progressed really well. But would I bring him back another year? No, definitely not. Chris, I see us drafting all offense. We're going to use our free agent money on our players as well. Sign Woolen opposite Q. Yeah, so interesting enough, okay? The Eagles have used a lot of their draft picks the last few years on. So, from what Howie Roseman had at his end of the year press conference, so what was being said is that the Eagles might do the complete opposite. So, what have the Eagles done the last few years? They put a lot of money into their draft capital when it came to our defense. Now the Eagles have spent so much money on offense, they're going to start to draft more offense. So I think you're correct on that. The Eagles will draft more offense. The Eagles will put money into, now they'll start to they'll start to actually put money into their a little bit more money into their defense now. The Eagles have done a really good job drafting on the defensive side of the ball. I think we can all agree about that. So now I think it's going to be the total opposite. So I think more of the draft will come to our offense. More money will go into our defense this year. Ringo can go. I could care less. A.D. Williams says, like, Rivers can't keep Reed if the 49ers made him look like Ringo. So, Mike says, things happen, but I think he and Hurts face the same amount of slander regardless of their accomplishments. Chris Scott says 100% we draft O-line, tight end, wide receiver. Yeah, I mean, Dallas Goedert, I mean, I don't know. If they could bring him back for another year, I would be happy. I think they should bring him back, honestly. Bringing Goddard back would be great. He had a really good year last year. I know he missed some time, but let me tell you, Goddard, like, he did probably better than a lot of the players we had offensively. Jesus. Goddard, I think, should be here one more year if they can get him back in. Yeah, Sidney Brown, I never want him playing safety ever again. And he's another idiot on special teams. He's an idiot because I don't know how many penalties he's garnished like since the beginning of the season, but he's had a few. So Sidney Brown will never play safety for this team. Nope, never fucking happening. So with the super chat says, Joe, you know how bad I wanted Warren last year. I know. Well, Sadiq is the guy in the first. Bring him home, Howie. Yeah, we'll see what they do in free agency. We'll see what they do. That's going to correlate to what they do in the draft. What positions are filled and what are still kind of lingering. Eagles have what, the 21st pick, 22nd pick? So we will see. See if any trades go down, see if anything happens. So, yeah, I mean, that's going to be about it. I mean, whether what happens with Fangio, if he's here for one more year, then great. Then then I'll feel like the defense is still going to be fine, but it's still going to be a lingering factor that the Eagles will have to find another DC in another year, which really sucks. So, whether they bring back Becton, they re-sign at least they re-sign, Dean and Blankenship. I don't know what they're going to do. There's going to be some tough decisions that are going to have to get made. That's where we're kind of going to be at. That's where we're at, ladies and gentlemen. So, other than that, that's it. I put out a video this morning. Definitely go check it out if you guys have it. There's 253 people in the chat. Make sure you subscribe to the channel for more Eagles news every day. We cover the Eagles. We're going to be covering the entire offseason. When it comes to March and free agency, the first couple weeks, we're going to be streaming every single day for like a good 2 weeks straight. So we're going to be kind of going through every day of free agency and going through our stuff. So, yeah, I will have a video out tomorrow. Definitely check out the video I put out today. And, yeah, I'll give you any updates on what's going on regarding anything we're doing for the draft. And I have no plans yet. I don't know what's going on for the draft for live streaming or anything like that, so I'm not really sure. The combine as well. Usually we used to stream the combine. Um I don't know what's going on. Breaking, new Vic is retired. Don't fucking tell me he retired. Please tell me this is not. Please tell me this is like. Let me see. There's nothing here yet. Your friends just told you this, so I don't see anything. Nothing yet. Nothing yet. Your friends are lying to you, unfortunately. Your friends are lying to you. Obviously, if he does retire, we'll have a live stream. If it's breaking news, I'll come back on and we'll talk about it. I really fucking hope not. I need to clean my fucking house. Today I'm cleaning my whole house today and doing some stuff. So I'm hoping nothing comes out today. But Schwartz brings Garrett. Yeah, that's definitely not happening. I will block them. Yeah, they're lying to you, bro. Mike said Eagles brass is convinced Fangio to stay another year, being reported on X currently. Yeah, but it still says it's up in the air. But yeah. All right, that's going to be it. 225. I appreciate everybody that's been supporting, everybody that's been, interacting and just being here and talking about the Eagles news as usual. So I appreciate it. We're going to have a lot more content coming out, and we're going to be busy for free agency. We're going to be busy for the combine, the draft, all that great stuff. And that's it. The memberships, I'm changing for the 26th season. I'm going to be changing a lot for the memberships, where I'm actually going to be putting out a little bit more content for memberships this year. A lot of changes are going to be made before the regular season happens when it comes to my setup and a bunch of. I had so many plans before this season, before the 25 season, it never happened, unfortunately. So, yeah, we'll be back to our shit. So. All right, you guys enjoy it. Enjoy the rest of your day. It's Sunday. We have the Super Bowl next week, and I'll have a video out tomorrow. So, you guys enjoy it. I'll see you guys on the next one.